Lost my microphone. Sorry. Welcome, everybody, to our council meeting, July 21st, the first meetings in City Days. I'm sure that will be a good, positive topic for conversation. However, council, you see before you some business that we must conduct. And I need a motion, please, to adopt the agenda. Moved by Councillor Antle, seconded by, thank you, Councillor Rice. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. That is carried. In recognition of the City of Mount Pearl's commitment to foster respectful and collaborative relationships with Indigenous peoples in the City of Mount Pearl and beyond, we hereby acknowledge that the land on which we gather is the ancestral and unceded territory of the Beothuk and the Mi'kmaq. Mount Pearl and the broader metro region continues to be home to diverse Indigenous peoples, including First Nations, Inuit, and Métis. Council, it's been almost a month. June 23rd minutes are before you. Great job as always putting them together. Can you scan them? I'm sure you already have, and let me know if there's any errors or omissions before we proceed to adoption, please.
Yeah, just one small clarification. Under our Community Safety Committee, where it talked about where I talked about the escalation of youth activities and possible bad behaviors, and that there were means in place to intervene that and to provide more youth engagement in the community. It says here, to reinforce positive behavior, it was suggested to start a program whereby youth are acknowledged when they act in a positive manner in the community. Just to clarify that, that's already in place. Our Mount Pearl Citizens Crime Prevention Committee has this program. It's called Recognize and Reward. And the point of that is if people in the community, like school teachers or counselors or various people in the community, if you see a youth doing something good, then you give them one of these. It could be like a free Frosty or a free value combo, and you tell them why you're giving it to them. You don't just give it to them and say, here it is. You say, you know, I noticed that you just picked up that piece of garbage and you put it in the bin. That's really good. Here, have this. So it's to recognize and reward positive behavior and focus on the positive.
But the only clarification is in the minutes at this point, or is this business arising? No, that's all good, but
A little bit of both.
okay, so Ms. Pico's there. She wants to know, are you suggesting a change in the wording?
Well,
We'll get to the business.
Perfect. No, sorry, I got a little bit carried away because I'm really excited about this. No, this was just because I didn't want it. I just wanted to clarify in the minutes that the program has already started, and it's the Citizens Crime Prevention. As much as I'd like to take credit for it, I can't.
No, good stuff. You know, I really appreciate where you're coming from.
Yeah. Thanks.
Oh, no, thank you. So folks, any other errors or omissions? Hearing none, I'm going to call for a motion. Moved by Councillor Fry and seconded by Councillor Lane. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And that's carried. Business arising, Councillor Fry.
What I just said. No, this is a really great program that the Citizens Crime Prevention Committee are doing, and I think you're going to see a lot of positive things instead of focusing on the negative. Focus on some of the positive. That's it for me, Your Worship. Thanks.
Perfect. No presentations, no proclamations, no other hands up. We're going to move past correspondence. We have none, and we have, oh my jeepers, Councillor Antle. We have a big. Have you been building them up? Councillor Antle, Corporate Services, the floor is yours.
There you go, Your Worship. I take 2 weeks off for vacation and, we get busy. Our first one is our payment register and purchase card report for the period of May 20th to June 30th for our payment register. And it's a big one. It's for $9,551,815.81. And our purchase card report for the period of April 28th, 2026 to May 25th. 2026 for $340,267.31. And if we just go back to the payment register, there's a couple of huge ones there that you might want to pay attention to. There's one there for $2.9 million. That's for a half year for our regional fire. There's one there for Dexter Construction for $1,008,000. That's for Jackman Drive construction. You can see a little bit further down there. There's another one there for $606,000. That's for JMJ for our new Civic Center. And there's a couple more there, but I'll just hold out the bigger ones so you can see them for your kit. We do pay our bills, and it's just worth $9 million. I thought I'd haul out a few of them. And I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Antle and seconded by Deputy Mayor Locke. Any questions, concerns, explanations required? Hearing none. I'm going to call the question then. All in favor?
Aye.
And those contra? Motion carried. Thank you.
And the next one is regarding our remuneration for our management and staff and council for 2026, and this is July 21st. The department recommends approving an increase in remuneration of 4.5% to the management staff and council effective July 1st, 2026. And just a quick note on this, this is a proposed 4.5 increase for management staff and council, which aligns with the increase negotiated for unionized employees and our recently ratified collective agreement, which is pending for final signature. Future increases will be reviewed through the annual budget process. And I so move.
Moved by Councillor Antle again and seconded again by Deputy Mayor Locke. Any questions? I'll call the question. All in favor? And opposed? And that's carried.
It's with the Atlantic Planners Institute 2026. There's a conference sponsorship in July 21st. And this is a good thing for us. I mean, where our planners are going to this association, and it's good to show Mount Pearl is supporting the The committee recommends the council approve a $1,500 sponsorship and nutrition break for the 2026 Atlantic Planners Institute Conference, October 7th to the 9th, 2026 in Charlottetown, PEI, and I so move.
Moved and seconded. Thank you. Any questions? I'll call the question. All in favor? And opposed? Carried as well.
And the next one is regarding our half applications. This comes through, I think, every 2 weeks. I mean, it's really successful and we're increasing our housing supply. The committee recommends the council approve one application for number 7 Churchill Avenue under the Housing Accelerator Fund, program in the amount of $10,000, and I so move.
Again, moved by Councillor Antle, second by Councillor Locke. I'm just going to call the question. I don't see any hands up. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Carried.
And number 5 is had to do with professional development. And this is always important for us to move forward, with our management staff and council to bring back, go to other areas and learn more and bring back and help out our city. The department recommends approval for the Deputy Mayor Locke, Councillors Fry and Lane to attend the Atlantic Mayors Congress taking place in Truro, Nova Scotia, September 2026. And I so move.
It is moved again by Councillor Antle and Deputy Mayor Locke. Any questions? I'll call this question. All in favor? Contrary-minded? And carried.
And seeing that we're going through the Mayor's Congress, it's always good to take our CAO. And the department recommends approval for the CAO to Cassie Rideout to attend the Atlantic Mayor's Congress taking place in Truro, Nova Scotia, same time frame, and I so move.
Again, seem like I repeat myself, but it's going to be Councillor Antle, Deputy Mayor Locke again. Those in favor, please put your hand up. Against? Motion carried. Thank you.
And there's a lot of traveling on the go this month, I guess. This has to do with travel request, and this is important for our municipalities, Newfoundland and Labrador. And this is for our mayor to attend the municipalities, Newfoundland and Labrador Urban Municipalities Committee meeting taking place in Bay Roberts, not too far away, August 28th to 29th, 2026, and I so move.
Moved by Councillors Deputy Mayor Locke is seconded. Councillor Antle's motion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Carried.
And believe it or not, there's another travel request. And same thing, it's really important to take our CAO wherever we go because, I won't say nothing. The department recommends approval for the CAO, Cassie Ryder, to attend the Municipalities Newfoundland and Labrador Urban Municipalities Committee meeting taking place in Bay Roberts, August 28th to 29th, and I so move.
Looking at the room, it's been moved and it's been seconded. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Locke. All in favor? Contrary-minded? And that one's carried as well. Are you done?
And one more. There's a lot of travel. I'm not going to take holidays no more because, this is. And this is a professional development question. Same thing. It's very important for our directors to attend these different conferences across Canada. And, we bring back whatever we can do. And this has to do with the department recommends approval for our director, Jason Collins, to attend the SEMA Summit 2026, taking place in Toronto in August 2026. And I so move.
Okay, so the finale is for Director Collins, and it's been moved by Councillor Antle, seconded by Deputy Mayor Locke. All in favor? And those opposed? And that's carried as well. Well done. Public Works Committee, sorry, Public Works Report, Councillor Fry.
Thank you, Your Worship. First on our agenda this evening is to supply and deliver heavy-duty tandem trucks. So this is required from council regarding awarding the supply and delivery of these trucks. The city received 5 application responses for the delivery of up to 6 heavy-duty tandem trucks with mounted salt bodies, front snow blades, wings, and 50-ton pintle hitches. Now, this, of course, is important to maintain the level of service that we do, and just for interest, to order anything, any large equipment now is 18 to 24 months. So it's good to get on this one early. So there were 5 bids received, and Royal Freightliner was the lowest qualified bidder in the amount of $409,574 plus tax per truck, and it meets all the required specifications. So therefore, the Public Works Department recommends awarding the supply and delivery of these 6 heavy-duty tandem trucks to the lowest qualified bidder, Royal Freightliner, in the amount of, for all of them, $2,457,444 plus tax. And I so move.
Well, we never spent this much money when Councillor Antle, and as soon as he comes back, boy, the money's moving again out of corporate services, but the Public Works Department spending it. And I see that was moved by Councillor Fry. Thank you, Councillor Rice, for seconding that. Any questions, comments? I think we're thinking ahead here. The timing is what's most important. The cost is atrocious, but it is what it is. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is to update the supply and delivery of 3 pickup trucks. Now, we talked about this in our last meeting, and we did provide direction. But since that time, there's been a change. And Avalon Ford was the lowest qualified bidder for a half-ton regular cab 4x4 and a 3/4-ton crew cab 4x4 pickup trucks. And awarding this contract to Avalon Ford was approved at the last meeting, which was on June 23rd. But since that meeting, Avalon Ford has informed us that there was an error in the incentive pricing of the F-150 and a half-ton regular cab 4x4. And the price of $68,300 plus tax could no longer be honored. The new provided quote is $6,000 higher, but since the city is unable to accept increases in prices after the tender closes, this award and purchase order will be canceled. So therefore, Hickman Motors was the second lowest qualified bidder, for the half-ton regular cab 4x4 pickup truck. And the Public Works Department thereby recommends rescinding motion 2026-06121 from the minutes of the June 23rd public meeting. The Public Works Department recommends awarding the contract for the supply and delivery of 2 3/4-ton crew cab pickup trucks at $77,484 each plus tax to Avalon Ford for a total amount of $154,968 plus tax for a total of $178,213.20. The Public Works Department recommends awarding the contract for the supply and delivery of 1 half-ton regular cab 4x4 pickup truck from the second lowest qualified bidder, Hickman Motors, in the amount of $77,741 plus tax for a total, including HST, of $89,402.15. So our Public Works Department, they rely on this equipment to provide the services that they provide. And therefore, I so move.
Again, it's moved by Councillor Fry, seconded by Councillor Locke. Go ahead, Councillor Rice. Oh, sorry, I meant to say Councillor Rice seconded the motion. Thanks. That was for motion, secondly, was it? Sorry. I have a question. So in the tender process, was there security sought from the successfully lowest bidder? And did they relinquish that security as the penalty? But typically when you buy something, you tender, there's security laid down. Was there security in this case?
Do not believe at this particular tender, Mayor, that there was a security sought based on the tender.
But is that common practice? Because we just bought $2 million worth of trucks a few minutes ago. And if there was bids in on that, would we not? And I'm just I'm asking about our process, but usually with large scale contracts, whether it's supply and install, which typically would come through Public Works or come through engineering, or if it's the purchase of goods and services, normally in a bidding process, there would be security provided by each and every bidder as a pre-qualification to enter the bid. So I'm just trying to seek clarification on why that wasn't done.
I can answer that to say that in all of our heavy duty equipment, whether that's loaders or trucks or garbage trucks or recycling trucks, we always have a bonus and penalty based on the tender to be able to provide that said equipment in a certain amount of time. We haven't had that same issue with light duty vehicles, therefore we never had it on this particular tender.
CAO, a little takeaway just in case to further analyze. I suspect some of this likely came about maybe coming out of COVID. It was really hard to get vehicles and really hard to get bids, but normally you wouldn't just get away with just withdrawing your lowest bid and saying I have to reprice it. That's on Avalon Ford. That's not on you. That's not on us. But on the other hand, we need to be wise to it, I guess, going forward, just in case it happens again. So CAO, you'll probably follow up and we'll have a review. Any questions, Council? Besides mine, thank you much for indulging me. I'll call the question. All in favor and contraminded? And that's carried. Thank you.
Okay. Next is about our urban forestry plan. Now, this is something we've been working on for a number of years. And this year we have been given $200,000 by the Federation of Canadian Municipalities under the Green Municipal Fund Growing Canada's Community Canopies Initiative. And the city matched this funding for a total contract amount of $400,000. So the city received 2 application responses from the Urban Forestry Phase 4 contract, and the tender closed on June the 15th with 2 bids. And as you can see here, given that both submissions were under the contract amount of $400,000, the Public Works Department requested receive permission from FCM to expand the project. So this will be executed by tree number or site number increases, remaining within the original grant amount, and FCM encourages the planting of additional trees. And that's what the fund is for. So all changes made will be reflected in the FCM reporting documents and case file. And therefore, the Public Works Department recommends awarding the Urban Forestry Phase 4 RFP 26-020 contract to the lowest qualified bidder, which is O'Neill's Garden Land Limited, in the amount of $272,549.72, including tax, and expanding the project for a total contract price of $400,000. So this is a great opportunity to double what we had planned with help from the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, and we really appreciate the $200,000 grant that they're providing us, and I so move.
Thank you. It is moved by Councillor Fry. Thank you. Second by Councillor Rice. Yeah, this is a good thing to talk about, Deputy Mayor Locke.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm delighted to see this here, and it was sort of timely in that having a chat with some residents, they expressed concern about all the trees that we were removing up on the Kenmount Road area by Avalon Ford and developments up there. And I responded to them about our urban forestry plan and our hope to increase our tree canopy by 2030 to, I think it's 32% or in that area. And they were delighted to know that council has taken this initiative and staff have implemented this so that the trees that we remove, we will return. Our goal is to return the trees that we are removing. They may not be in the same area, but we'll certainly increase our tree canopy. So I fully support this, and I thank and commend our staff for the great work they do on this. Thank you, Mayor.
Councillor Randall.
I thought you were going to answer it, Deputy Mayor. Is any idea where these trees are going to be planted? I mean, it's a great idea. It's fabulous. But, any idea where we're going to put these?
So, Councillor Antle, that the proposed urban forestry phase number 4, the majority of the work is going to happen on Sagona Avenue and roll into Opal Centre Road down towards Richard Nolan Drive. There's a combination of trees and shrubs in that entire area, and that would be could share that with you guys for have a look at it. Yes, the plantings are planned for 2026 and into 2027.
All right, good stuff so far. Anybody else got a question? I'll call the question then on the floor. All in favor? Those opposed? That's carried.
And finally, we have our Public Works Status Report. So our Roads Division, repairs on maintenance holes, catch basin, curbs, sidewalks, lawn, and asphalt continues. Street sweeping is ongoing. And as people have been noticing, traffic calming equipment is being installed. For our Parks Division, maintenance on our sports field continues. Flower planters and baskets have been installed and they look great. I've really noticed them around the city over the last little while. They look wonderful. Our commemorative bench installations and required maintenance are continuing. Preparation and conclusion for City Day celebrations. We all go to City Days and we have a great time, and we don't always think about the people who set it up and take it down. So they did a great job this year with that. Many thanks. Court resurfacing projects are underway. You may have seen that on social media today. We're going to be doing a lot of work with a lot of our outdoor recreation facilities, resurfacing basketball and tennis courts, which is going to be great, and people can get out and enjoy. And playground structures for Farrell Drive and Branscombe Pond have arrived, and installation will start later this summer. For our fleet division, we have ongoing maintenance and service, of course. And our UTM division continue with their general calls, their water and sewer repairs, their leak detection, fire hydrant inspection and maintenance are ongoing, water main valve servicing and exercising, lift station inspections and maintenance, catch basin and storm sewer cleaning. And as always, you can see in our kit the levels of Babel's Big Pond water level graph here. Water levels have dipped a bit, but I guess that's due to the wonderful weather we've been having, but they're nowhere near what they were last year. So that's a good sign. And that's it for our report this evening, Your Worship. Thank you.
Thank you. Another busy report. We're going to now move to recreation, and I believe we're going to move to Councillor Lane.
Thank you very much. The first item in the recreation report this evening is the release of the second installment for the 2026 Admiralty House Museum operating grant. The City of Mount Pearl provides an annual operational grant to the museum to support ongoing programming, exhibitions, and administrative operations. In January 2026, the first installment of the operating grant was released in the amount of $57,500. The museum has submitted an email request to receive the second and final installment of the approved 2026 annual grant in the amount of $57,500. Be it resolved that Council approve the release of the second and final installment of the museum's 2026 operational grant in the amount of $57,500 as approved through the 2026 budget process, and I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Lane. I'm just following my path here, and seconded by Councillor Fry. Have I got that right? There's one absence here, so I just want to make sure I get it right. Thank you for that, and I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? And that's carried. Thank you.
The next item is for information purposes only. The Sunset Market and Outdoor Movie Night in August 2026. As the season continues, we're excited to bring our community together with these August events for residents of all ages. The Sunset Market. Join us for a beautiful summer evening at the Sunset Market on Centennial Street on Sunday, August 16th from 6 to 9 p.m. Stroll through the square and explore a variety of local vendors, enjoy live music, and soak up the vibrant community atmosphere as the sun sets. Whether you're looking for unique finds, delicious treats, or simply a relaxing night out, there's something for everyone. Bring your family and friends and come enjoy an unforgettable evening. We're also having another outdoor movie. Grab your blankets and lawn chairs and join us at St. David's Park on August 20th from 9 to 10:30 p.m. for an outdoor screening of GOAT. Gather with family and friends, relax under the stars, and enjoy a fun-filled community movie night in the park. A cash canteen will be available on site with snacks and refreshments for purchase. Don't miss this great opportunity to enjoy a summer evening, a great movie, in company of your community. We look forward to seeing you out and about as we celebrate our community. And that is it for the recreation report this evening.
Well, would you like to continue with community safety?
Absolutely. So this is for information purposes as well. It's the Community Safety Initiatives and Traffic Advisory. The annual Holy Sepulchre Liturgy service will take place on Tuesday, July 28th at 7 p.m. Traffic control measures will be in place, and the motorists are advised that reduced traffic lanes will be in effect on Topsail Road and Blackmarsh Road during the service. Drivers are encouraged to use caution and expect minor delays. And then under Community Safety and Wellbeing in Action. Over the past several weeks, the community has continued to advance its community safety and well-being goals through a variety of initiatives focused on engagement, education, inclusion, and partnership development. A new Pet of the Month program was launched to recognize responsible pet ownership. Community walk programs have provided valuable opportunities for residents to stay active, build social connections, and engage with municipal enforcement officers. Safety education was delivered to youth through a bicycle and road safety presentation at the YMCA daycare. Community safety and well-being initiatives were promoted at both the Accessibility Fair and the Community Wellbeing Fair. And staff have continued to support neighborhood-based safety initiatives, collaborate with community organizations through the Unsheltered Homelessness Committee, and work with local partners to provide essential care packages to individuals experiencing homelessness. These efforts reflect the city's ongoing commitment to fostering a safe, inclusive, connected, and supportive community for all residents. And that's it for my report this evening.
Thank you very much. We're going to move to a Capital Works update. Engineering, Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Worship. This is for information purposes only. So a Capital Works update. Just some items here that's ongoing and some that are completed. So Farrell Drive Pump House upgrades, construction is ongoing, is 80% complete. The 2025 concrete works, construction is 98% complete on that project, and work is ongoing. The White Boulevard upgrades, construction is 75% complete, work ongoing. Sewage lift station, which is Mount Carson Avenue, construction is ongoing, it's 98% complete. Jackman Drive upgrades, construction, it's 60% complete. Work is ongoing on that project. The Water Tower Access Road, construction is 85% complete. Work ongoing. Our water storage tank, our design build, our construction is 40% complete, and work is ongoing on that project. Our T-Rail crossing on Commonwealth Avenue, construction is 85% complete, and work is ongoing on that project as well. The 2026 asphalt crack sealing is 100% complete. The 2026-2028 street markings is 60% complete. Work is ongoing on that one as well. And the 2026 asphalt services work to begin the week of August 10th, 2026. And that's it for our report. Thank you.
I think Councillor Antle has a question.
Thank you, Councillor Rice. Just a quick question. I'm mostly asking this because residents have asked me. Where does the Trailway crossing, is that crossing? Trailway crossing is 85% complete. When do we expect to have that completed? Just, thank you.
Yeah, it's 85% complete. We're waiting for the poles and the buttons and things like that to go in place as of now. We're working through some easement issues with Newfoundland Power. We're trying to find a way to accelerate that and get power to those poles more quickly than Newfoundland Power has given us for our schedule. So we're hoping over the next few weeks that is going to be up and running. We're working through some details right now, but definitely within the month.
Councillor Fry has a question.
I do. So there's a lot of work being done here, and I know that construction is a necessary evil, has to be done, but nobody likes it. Having said that, I know that over the last probably 4 or 5 years, there's been an awful lot of construction taking place on north of Topsail Road, from starting with Farrell Drive and then with Wyatt Boulevard. I'm just wondering how is that going? Like, when can residents expect on Wyatt Boulevard to be concluded? And how, what's the status update on that one?
Yeah, actually, Wyatt Boulevard is trending quicker than anticipated. Originally, it was supposed to finish October, but right now it's looking late August, early September. So there's a few deficiencies remaining, but they're working on the curb and gutter now and preparing the road base for the asphalt. So we're well on schedule.
Well, that's good news. Not usually ahead of schedule. I do have another question because, of course, residents in that area, when Wyatt is torn up, they use Mount Carson, and I know Mount Carson is not in the greatest of shape with the potholes and the ruts. Just wondering what's happening with that one.
Yeah, that's a good question. And it's something that we've noticed as well. The Mount Carson isn't in ideal shape by no means. There's significant rutting and there's localized potholes, especially down by Topsail Road intersection. The challenge this year is we don't want to have two major road upgrades happening to block off access to north of Topsail Road. So the plan is next year for that to be a budget request to council to upgrade the surface course of Mount Carson. But this year we will be taking in those high priority areas of Mount Carson that see major potholes, like down at the intersections. That will be done this year. But Mount Carson as a whole, with the ruts and everything, that's going to be a bigger ask next year.
Okay, where were we? Councillor Rice had finished his presentation. We had 2 questions. We can move on to a very substantial item, and Deputy Mayor Locke is about to bring it in, but it's a journey, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. This is for information purposes, for council and, of course, our residents, and it has to do with our work on our municipal plan and development regulations. And this has to do with an amendment, a plan amendment to the St. John's Urban Regional Plan. As we know, we've been working on a comprehensive review of the City of Mount Pearl's municipal plan and development regulations. And as we know, this is to help us establish the policy and regulatory framework that's essentially going to guide development and growth in our city over the next decade. And as a part of this work, an amendment is required to the St. John's Regional Plan. And this is to ensure that the work that the City of Mount Pearl is proposing to our municipal plan and future land use framework aligns or is consistent with the provincial regional plan. This amendment number 110/2025 has been prepared by the Department of Municipal and Community Affairs with the province, working in close consultation with our professional city staff here, as well as our city's consultant, Tract Consulting Incorporated. The proposed amendment includes updates to regional land use designations, reflecting updated provincial flood risk mapping, which is essential in the era of climate change. The T-Railway Provincial Park Corridor will be under consideration, environmental protection areas, any industrial lands, and of course, future residential development opportunities within the city. As a part of this process, we like to consult with our residents, with our public, and a consultation period relating to these amendments is currently underway, and it's going to be in place and remain open to our public, our residents, to submit comments until August 10th of 2026. This provides our residents, interest holders, regional municipal partners with an opportunity to review the proposed changes that we are suggesting, and of course to provide feedback. Information can be found at our heymountpearl.ca. And there's no legislative requirement for council to pass a resolution or to make a formal decision regarding this consultation process. But the city would like to publicly acknowledge the provincial amendment process and of course thank our partners at the Department of Municipal and Community Affairs and the experts at Provincial Land Use Planning Division for their partnership and their support, as you said, Mayor, through this important phase, which has been a journey but it's an important phase of reviewing our municipal plan. And we would like to highlight the collaborative effort that's been involved in advancing this work. The next steps, once the consultation period is ended, we'll review any feedback. An update will be provided at our public meeting on August the 18th. And this update will summarize, as I said, any and all feedback received, and will provide an overview with the anticipated next step in this municipal plan review process. And that's just an information update, Mayor. I thank you.
Thank you. I do believe, folks, that is the last item on the agenda. Do you want to skip the roundtable? Councillor Antle, you're first tonight. I kind of knew the answer to the question.
Perfect.
I will have to backtrack after the roundtable to 2 sets of minutes that were displayed earlier on that we didn't specifically motion, but please continue.
Just a couple for me. The first off is I'd like to offer sincere condolences to Deputy Mayor Locke on the passing of his mother. It's certainly a difficult time, and we wish you all the best. And it's a tough time to lose your mother. Thank you. My second, I was going to ask about the Commonwealth Crossing, but I did get a call on 166 Park. Is there any update on 166 Park?
Director Bat, that place down there called 166 Park, right? You know, like there's only one way to stop the conversation, isn't there? In the longer run.
Yeah, so 166 Park, it is still cordoned off. It's secured for safety for the public. To the best of my knowledge, BDO still hasn't released that back for us to coordinate with the new owners, whoever that may be. So that's where that stands right now.
Thank you. Yeah, it's certainly an eyesore. You know, it's on Park Avenue, and everybody's passing it, and it's asked quite a lot. You know, what are we going to do with that eyesore? I had something about. I'd like to talk about yesterday. I went for a bike ride, and I went down on one of our trails, and there was a graffiti on one of the benches, and I contacted Director Dalamont, and I think it was around 3:45 yesterday afternoon. I contacted him, and I went down this morning at 8:15, and it was gone. Kudos to our staff. Well done. I mean, we got to clean up graffiti as fast as we possibly can. It wasn't very nice, but you did a great, fantastic job. I couldn't believe how fast it was. Thank you very much. That's everything from me, Your Worship.
Yeah, well done, well executed. Over to you, Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Worship. A couple from me there. As we know, we're out and about in the city, and there's lots of stuff happening. City Days was this past weekend, and it was quite a busy weekend, to say the least. Just want to say congratulations, I guess, to all the staff that had their hand in putting everything together, organizing and putting it off. It was a lot of events in a short time for 3 days, but everything went off pretty smoothly. I know it's a lot of events, a lot of different events happening this time, but it was really good to see. So please pass along to staff appreciation of a great job well done. I just want to actually speak about the e-bikes again on the trails, because I had a couple of residents actually that reached out to me about e-bikes. We're trying. I know we got a problem with speeding in there, but the problem we got now is that we have residents in the city that are using e-bikes as a recreational, I guess, part of their recreational part of their journey in the daytime when they jump on their bike, because we have a lot of seniors that are using e-bikes. So here we are. Like, I know we got an issue with speeding on the trails, but we also got we got people that use those e-bikes to get around who probably wouldn't be able to pedal the bike. And so I know it's a very delicate. I know the provincial government is trying to come up with some kind of regulations for that, but I know we do also have a 20-kilometer, I think, posted on our trails, 20-kilometer speed limit. And, it's almost like a double-edged sword here. You're having, the e-bikes trying to be banned from the trails. And then on the other hand, we have residents that use those e-bikes. So I know we're into a very delicate situation. And I did speak to 3 residents that reached out to me. One stopped in front of my house on an e-bike there Saturday past, and I was speaking to him about it. And he told me, he asked me actually that he said that I heard the e-bikes are going to be banned from the trails. I said, well, there's conversation with the provincial government. I said, I can't comment on it any more than that. So anyway, I know there are some concerns, so I just want to put that out there. Also, I just want to make a comment about a resident called me from Abbey Lane, really concerned. There was a couple of people over there over the last couple of days trying to break into houses and break into their vehicles. And one guy called me yesterday and said that his dog was barking. And when he went to the front door, was two people at his front door trying to get in through his front door. So I told him, I said, this is the process. So he reached out to, I think, Blair Tilley and the municipal enforcement about it. And I think they're going to do some, I don't know, you mightn't even know about it yet, Jason. Yeah, no, it was, well, I spoke to him about doing patrols over there. But I did tell him to report it to the RNC as well. But I know Blair has got it in his radar, and I think Blair might have probably called him back this afternoon. But I just want to put it out there that there's. So I told him, you know, like you got to try to keep your doors locked and make sure your lights are on and whatever. So it is concerning to the residents. So I just wanted to mention that as well. And I also had a couple of residents reach out to me about I just need some clarification, Director Dallemont, on the tennis courts. Or are all the surfaces being redone in the city over the next year to 2 years? Or I need clarification on it because I didn't know exactly which ones were being done.
I think based on the amount of work that's being done, Councillor Rice, is easier if I share you the report and then you could let residents know based on that. But I guess to answer your question, no, not all the courts are being totally redone in 2026.
Okay, perfect. If you can share that, that'd be perfect. At least we'd have a good indication we can share with the residents. Appreciate it. Thank you. And that's it for me. Thank you.
I think Councillor Antle wanted to jump in on the e-bike conversation. Do you want to go ahead? Pedal your way through.
I'm sorry, councillors, it's going to be quick. I do have an e-bike. I was going to bring it up in the round table, but I do have an e-bike, and I've been on an e-bike for 5 or 6 years. I got 15,000 kilometers on my e-bike. Just prior to, and I got many residents have to come to me, and most of these residents you guys know, asking about are we banning e-bikes. I said, no, I certainly wouldn't think we'd ban e-bikes. Because on our trails now, there's 50 or 60% of the bikes on trails now are e-bikes. And there are most of the people, like 50 plus, that's who's using the e-bikes the most. My bike's a pedal-assisted bike. I talked to an owner of a business in St. John's a couple of days ago, and we talked about e-bikes and this kind of stuff. And he talked about that we're talking about regulations on e-bikes and how we're going to bring regulations in. And one of the conversations said, we already have regulations. We have a 20-kilometer zone on our trails. We have a zone, we have no motorbikes allowed on our bike. And the definition is if it doesn't have pedals and it doesn't move by itself, well, it's a motorized vehicle. So we already have the legislation in place because scooters are motorized vehicles that don't have pedals and they can move on their own. It's a motorized vehicle. They're not allowed on our trails. Dirt bikes, electric dirt bikes that you don't have pedals, it's a motorized vehicle. It's not allowed. So if the province is going to bring a legislation, we already have legislation on our trails now that we should support. My bike is a pedal-assisted bike, and I have to pedal that bike to make it move. And I think most of the times, our speed limit today, I went around, I left my house, I went down to Kitty went up around through the Ped Mall and came back again. I did about 40 kilometers, and I don't think I went over 20 kilometers. But I was passed by scooters and I was passed by dirt bikes. Neither one of them had pedals and they were flying. So I think that's why we need the legislation. If it doesn't have pedals, it shouldn't be allowed on our trails. If it doesn't have pedals and it moves on its own, it shouldn't be there. But the residents that are concerned that have e-bikes, like my bike cost me, $2,500 and they're more expensive than that. There's other residents that are around our trails. They bought their bikes and they want to continue to use their bikes. And I said, we'll never ban, if our seniors using them properly, that's the way we want to do it. One of the things is that I have arthritis in both my knees. And I went to the doctor, 4 or 5 years ago, and I was getting some treatment, and I had different things to do. Since I started my e-bike, I haven't had not one issue with my knees. Nothing. I don't take no medication, not a thing, because the e-bike helps me pedal the bike. So besides being a pedal assisted, It helps for a medical, replace tips and this kind of stuff. So we had to be careful. If we're asking the province to increase our legislation, the legislation has to be, like we already have it. We have speed limits on our trails. It's enforcement. And we need more money for enforcement. We can't do it all. I mean, that's where the issue is. All right. So, I mean, the province needs to come with us with more money to enforce this because, I'm on the trail 7 days a week. And I talk to lots of people on our trails, and I certainly wouldn't enforce it. I wouldn't support a ban on e-bikes. I'd support more regulation of the e-bikes. And, that's my rant. Sorry. Thank you very much.
There's a letter went out today on behalf of council. You all agreed to it, to Minister Guzny to be part of the communication and consultation process. There's no discussion of a ban. But to your point, you have the trailways and how do vehicles use the trailways? But you also have to make provision, and I think this is what Minister Guzny is going to have to reconcile with. Well, where do those vehicles go? So do those scooters do they get allowed under certain circumstances like ATVs where you can use them on the roads? And there's licensing and registration issues associated with that. But yeah, I kind of agree with you. You can pedal it. They're not as dangerous. But Councillor Antle, there's a lot of recreation opportunities in the city, not just for seniors. And I'd encourage everybody to get out, enjoy the fresh air, but do it responsibly. And to your point, to do it safely.
Just one quick note, it's a shared trail. I mean, we always talk about a shared trail. Sorry, Doug.
No, all good. Councillor Lane, you've been waiting in the queue.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'll be quick. I just want to recognize how great our canoe and kayak program is going this summer. I've been down to Powers Pond personally several times, and it's always being utilized with tons of residents. I've met with residents. It was their first time ever getting to use a canoe or a kayak, and they've thoroughly enjoyed it. And then they've come back with other friends or their kids. And I just think it's so great that we're offering it. So I just wanted to highlight it in case any residents weren't aware that it's going on, that they have hours posted every day online. And then they'll also post on the city website if it's closed due to wind. But it's a really great program, and I really encourage residents to go out and give it a try. And if you're considering potentially purchasing your own canoe or kayak, is also great to just try it out and see if it's for you. Not to mention, I mean, it's a really good upper body workout, so it's good. I also would be remiss without saying thank you to our staff for putting off another great Mount Pearl City Days. The events were very well attended. The weather, for the most part, was definitely on our side. And it was nice to see a new event added this year, which was the magic show. It was a full house, and I think everyone there really enjoyed it, especially the kids. I know my nephew Grayson and my daughter Serena, they were just in absolute awe. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. So I thought it was really nice to see that event added. And hopefully we'll see something similar coming in future Mount Pearl City Days. And that's it for me this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over to Councillor Fry.
I was at that magic show and I was in awe too. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I really was watching to try and see, but boy, it was good. It was really good. I echo Councillor Lane's sentiments about City Days. It was a great job, and I love seeing a couple of new events to keep it fresh. And I love the fact that residents come out and help us celebrate, because that's why we do it, is for the residents. I just wanted to add something about the e-bikes, because MNL met with Minister Mike Guzny last week to discuss this. And while this whole concept of e-bikes and e-scooters is fairly new to us, legislation will have to be developed, but stay tuned, because they're going to be doing some public consultations in the near future. But one of the things that I did take away from that is that he was very invested. His staff were very invested, and they want to do it right. So I think you're going to see some things come out in the near future, but especially anybody who wants to take part in the public consultations, because again, it's something new. It's kind of like when seatbelts first came out. Nobody wanted regulations on seatbelts, and people cut them out of their cars. But now you get aboard your car, and first thing you do is put on your seatbelt. So it's just gonna evolve over time. But again, it's coming. The one thing I did want to mention here this evening is that registration is now open for the Single Parent Association of Newfoundland and Labrador's Back to School program. And this is where they distribute backpacks to single parent families across the province. So if any residents can avail of that, they can reach out to, I thought it was SPA NL, but it's Single Parents Association, SPA NL. SPA NL, yeah. Yeah, well, SPANL.ca or info@SPANL.ca Good way to remember it, see? Also, if anybody is interested, they can also make a donation to this program because I know as a single parent myself, when it comes to back to school or Christmas times, when you have these extra expenses, it's challenging. And a lot of people go, paycheck to paycheck and just get by. So when these additional expenses come up, a little bit of extra help is always appreciated. So if there's anybody out there interested in donating any school supplies to help with this program, they can help by donating online or dropping off donations to the office there. And that's it for me, Your Worship. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And over to you, Deputy Mayor Locke.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have any item, but I do want to comment on Councillor Antle's commentary on e-bikes. I mean, I bike ride as well. And I know that the youth get a bad rep, but I've had experiences on the trailways where the youth have slowed down for people that were walking with dogs, have rung their bells. So the mayor makes a good point. It's not necessarily the vehicle, it's the use of the vehicle. So yes, we may need regulations. We may need more communications. Maybe we set up little stops along the trailway to promote properties. They're not going away. I hearken back to when these digital signs came in. Another example of a new technology came in and we didn't have the regulations. We had to catch up with the technology, and we did. We now have regulations in for the signs, the lumens, how bright they could be, how often they changed, because it took time. This technology is the same way. And I think through, I know people probably are distraught over the ban because I supported the ban here initially. Just to say, we can't allow unfettered use of these bikes. So I want to ban the motorized, like you said, the ones without pedals. But there are some peddlers, as I said, that are exceeding 20 kilometers as well. So it's not always the e-bike. So I support and appreciate all your commentary as well as the feedback that Councillor Fry has provided. And I'm sure we will get this right because it is a used trail and we want to promote active living because motion is lotion. So thank you, Mayor. That's it.
Thank you very much, Council. I need to turn your attention before we close to, there was 2 more minutes, very small in nature. One was the June 30th meeting to adopt our financial statements. The other was the July 15th meeting, I think, for a development permit. I trust that you've all reviewed those minutes. I'm acknowledging now that it's on the floor for any discussion about errors or omissions. Hearing none, I'd look for a motion to adopt separately those minutes. So June 30th, how about Deputy Mayor Locke, second by Councillor Fry? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried, thank you. And how about July 15th? I think it was everybody there. I'll pick Councillor, were you there, Councillor Lane? I didn't want to pick somebody who wasn't there. That's when, yeah. Let's go with Councillor Rice and Councillor Locke. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much. That's that little bit of housekeeping is now done. I'd also like to acknowledge Carrie Hodder, our communications advisor, is here tonight, and we're trying to push out in a new way some communication with the city. We want our residents to know a little bit more what's going on with the public council meetings. Not that the Pearl does not a very poor job, but working together, we want to make sure all of our messages get out. I think one of the things that really is going to come out of tonight's meeting, I wish it was the municipal plan, Deputy Mayor Locke, but somehow I suspect it's going to be e-bikes. But having said that, thank you for your attention here tonight. Thank you for coming. It's a beautiful evening and we should adjourn. And I want to accept the motion from Councillor Lane, seconded by Deputy Mayor Locke. We are adjourned.